Well, we're walking down to the patch. We're gonna kick off the 2025 growing season. I'm gonna show you what we've done so far and give you an update on where we're at and the aspirations that we have for this season. Stay tuned and hang in there for an update. So one thing that never ceases to amaze me as I walk down to the patch is there's this defined green strip of grass. And you can see it right here. Obviously it's a little taller just because I don't mow it very well. But what that comes from is overflow from my spring up top. I've been rinsing it slowly through this watering tote to use either this season or following season, but you can see the color difference in the grass just from the minerals and nutrients that naturally percolate through the spring. So I thought that was kind of neat, and I would show you guys that spring I do water my pumpkin plants with. So move over to the patch here in a second. All right, we have the 2025 pumpkin patch started. So first update of the year, I got the hoop houses up right now. I did amend the soil about a week ago, maybe ish, and tilled the soil prior to it, and then amended and tilled. So it's looking pretty good. Got the hoop houses up about a day or two before I actually got the plants in the ground. So temperatures have been very good so far to start the season. We did have a lot of flooding and rain to start out the season, so I was a little worried that I was going to fall behind. And now I'm actually out and plants are in the ground as of yesterday, April 20th. So this will be the earliest I have plants in the ground, but they are not the biggest plants I have in the ground. So we'll see how that works out. This is actually probably the smallest plants I've ever put into the ground at this time. So we'll see. I'm hoping that they'll have less shock and just take off running with the warmer weather we've had. Get to showing what we have going on here. First set we have right there. Those, I have my bucket spun around. I believe those are the 2551s, Fords right there. They were some of the most pronounced roots that were in the container, so pretty good roots. Second best was the 2190s of Brad Bledsoe over there. So those are the 2190 Bledsoe, state record out of Colorado, and excited to see those grow. So both of these are doing well. Those first true leaves were about half that size yesterday, so doing real well in here. I'm hoping they just continue to take off. Just to kind of show you what I'm doing, you see that there's 4 plants in one hoop house, so that's crazy, right? So these plants are actually facing to grow that way, and these plants are actually facing to grow that way. So won't keep the first few secondaries, they'll grow that way, and won't keep the first few secondaries and they'll grow that way, and I'll pick the best one. So they'll grow in opposite directions. And this spot is usually home to one plant. I'm going to do 2 plants. They'll roughly get 700 square feet apiece. The one that grows that way will be 20 foot long by 40 foot wide, and then vice versa. Running downhill there will be 20 foot long by 40 foot wide. Really like the wider plants, the longer secondaries. And this is usually the part of my patch that I pull pumpkins from first. So idea is I'll get a little earlier pollinations on them, a little wider plants, and we'll see what we can grow in 700 square foot versus 1,200 square foot that one plant has, and hopefully give me another odds on pumpkin to get my jacket this year. So always striving to get that jacket. It's been elusive to me in a few different ways. So you can see the hoop houses. I have 4 hoop houses, and I'll be doing 5 plants this year. And in this hoop house, I have the 2560 Ginger. I grew it last year and grew a state record off of it in 1986. And I didn't get any seeds out of the pumpkin. It got sold and went off to Dollywood to live its life, and just never ended up getting seeds. To be honest with you, I wasn't too energetic about getting the seeds because of the plant that I had pollinated with it. Just didn't produce anything good. So it was okay not getting the seeds out of it, but try and get in here and show you what we have there, similar to what you're going to see in the other one. There we go, 2560 there, and excited to grow that again. Hopefully make a good cross, get another state record, keep putting some distance between me and the other growers who are chasing me down. I was just bending down to pick grass weeds. I always struggle, no matter how good I try and do, I always struggle with the grasses. So next hoop here, ooh, look at that guy, a little rough looking. It's a 2097 Kizmor. So it does have a nice first true leaf now. I was a little worried about that. Had an issue with one of the other seeds, didn't take off on me. So this one looks like it's doing a little bit better. Have high hopes for this. Doug Kizmor, he promised me a 2,500 pounder or my money back. Unfortunately, I didn't pay for the seed, so I don't know how that's going to work out. But excited to grow it. Big fan of big things make big things bigger. And then that particular one for him, he had a pollinator that grew just as fast and rapidly as the mother plant. And unfortunately, it split on him, but he had some crazy numbers for 60, 65 plus days there. So over 2,000 pounds. Excited about that. That's the 2097 Kizmor. So, and then we have my own seed here. This is the 1481 Bayuk. This was the 1493 Wolf times my 2376. Beautiful orange pumpkin. It's got my 2376 lineage as the father. Haven't grown it. I've never grown it. Wanted to grow it. Just never put it in the ground, and excited to give that a full spot. So that's the lineup this year. This is what I have going on. Right now we're just in kind of open hoops, closed hoops phase. Not a whole lot going on. Making sure moisture levels are correct. I do have Govee monitoring system as far as Govee sensors hanging. You might have seen them hanging in the hoops there, and I can see those via Wi-Fi to make sure that they're not getting too hot or too cold. You noticed I didn't have heaters in them yet. It's just been too warm. Nighttime temps have been in the 60s, daytime temps have been in the 80s. Had a couple days that were mid 70s. Today is actually a mid 70s day because of the overcast, but it's supposed to be fairly warm, so not a whole lot of need for supplemental heat like some other folks. Hopefully the weather stays this true until first week of May. We're actually forecasted for the next 10 days to be in the 70s to 80s. So hopefully with the weather, we'll have smooth lay down on these plants in the next 3 weeks and be plowing away at it. Again, short update. Just wanted to kind of show you guys what I had going on, what the plans were. Thank you for watching, guys. If you can, go ahead and subscribe down below. Give it a like, and then you'll get notifications on the next videos. Try and do some weekly video updates, and that way you guys can see the progression of plants in the season. Catch you on the next one. Thanks.